What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? This is your guy, Tone DeShields II from Chalking Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to trust to the game. So, really appreciate you guys for locking in on the content and a lot to talk about, really. The Philadelphia Eagles schedule is about to get released tonight officially. The entire NFL schedule is about to get released tonight officially, but there have been some leaks, and we're going to get into all that kind of stuff. As I always say, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Always grateful for you guys being a part of the content and being a part of the stream. Truly am always appreciative of the support. And I always love to hate because at the end of the day, I'm here for the smoke, man. I ain't here to bull crap y'all. I ain't here to lollygag. I'm here to get right into the business. I'm here to give y'all passionate sports takes, analysis, and just give you high energy talk. So, once again, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys are just hopping in, really appreciate you guys as always. And let's get right into the shenanigans. So, like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles schedule is on the brink of being released. Now, there have been many leaks for many, if not all, NFL teams. But as it pertains to our Philadelphia Eagles, we already know that we're going to play the Minnesota Vikings in week 2 on Monday Night Football for the home opener. It's also been leaked that we're going to end up playing the Dallas Cowboys on Christmas Eve at 4:30 in the afternoon. And on top of that, we opened the season at the Detroit Lions. So I honestly believe we should start this season 2-0. I see the I see the Dallas. Well, I see the Detroit Lions game being a win, and I also see the Minnesota Vikings game being a win. Now it all depends on Jalen Hurts, as always. Jalen Hurts has to come and deliver, and we dominated the Detroit Lions last season, and I just don't see why it shouldn't be the case this year. They have made some additions, with Aiden Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, but I just don't believe from a roster standpoint, from top to bottom, I just don't believe they can really compete with us. If I'm being completely frank with you, but I'm looking forward to this NFL season, man. Now we already know who we play in totality. We know we play Washington twice, of course. Play Dallas twice, of course, and we play New York, the Giants twice. But on top of that, we play Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit, Houston, Indianapolis, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Arizona, Pittsburgh, and New Orleans. For some reason, the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints are always on our schedule every single season. It just seems like that's the norm. They're our new NFC East rivals, right? But man, ultimately, this is going to be a really interesting season. Now, here's something to think about, in particular when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings game. That's going to be a high scoring game, if you ask me. Let's think about it from this perspective. They got Kirk Cousins, who is a legit starter in his NFL. Maybe not a championship caliber or elite quarterback, but he's above average, if you ask me. Pretty accurate. Then they got Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. You know what I mean? So they have a talented offense. Our offensive line is most definitely better, but now our wide receiver core is comparable. You got AJ Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles, Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins, pretty comparable to what the Minnesota Vikings have. And we had Dallas Goedert at tight end. We clearly have the better tight end in the building. And then they have the better running back in Dalvin Cook. He's going to be a handful, but our defensive front has taken everything to another level by adding Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick. They drafted Karan Johnson, who really is a linebacker, but he can be put on the edge. And then we got Fletcher Cox back, Javon Hargrave, Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams. The Philadelphia Eagles have a pretty stout defensive front, so it's going to be pretty interesting. But I'm looking forward to smacking some Cowboys around on Christmas Eve, man. I'm looking forward to ruining a Dallas Cowboys Christmas. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be on the road in that game. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. But I believe we're going to be on the road for that game. And I honestly can't wait until the entire schedule is released. I want to know how to plan my season this year, because it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be pure competition, and we are actually at Dallas. We're going to be in Jerry World, and we know what happened last time we was in Jerry World. We got smacked by the Cowboys. That's just the reality, and we lost the last game of the season. So when you think about it from that perspective, Philadelphia Eagles really have to redeem themselves in the NFC East. We split games with the Giants, which is something that should never happen. We swept the Washington football team, to be expected, and we lost both games to the Cowboys. So we need to get our swag back. We need to get our juice back, and that's the only way, really. If the Eagles want to win this division, which I believe they can, they got to beat the Cowboys, got to beat the Washington football team, got to beat the Giants. Super embarrassing what happened last season. I remember where I was. I'm sitting at my dad's house, and we normally watch the games together. And me and him was sitting there scratching each other's heads, like, yo, my brother, like, we're gonna win this game, right? That's all we kept saying. We're going to win this game. Somehow, some way, we're going to win this game. And when that never happened, best believe me and him just sat there with each other, didn't even know what to say, couldn't even look at each other, man. And overall, the Philadelphia Eagles have a long way to go. I know we brought in some talent in Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, AJ Brown. We brought in some guys that can change the trajectory of this team pretty quickly. But overall, Nick Sirianni has to put it together. Shane Steichen, Jonathan Gannon, those guys have to put it together. Jalen Hurts has to put it together. You think about Jalen Hurts from this perspective. He is essentially in the contract year, figuratively. His contract isn't really over until the end of the 2024 season, but this is probably the last dance if he doesn't show that he can be the franchise quarterback. And I mentioned this before. Jalen Hurts is a franchise caliber human. He's a franchise caliber human. Excuse me, you guys. Got the yawns. He's a franchise caliber human, but the question is, can he be a franchise caliber player, a franchise caliber quarterback? That's the question. A lot of people in mainstream media, they're not necessarily out on Jalen Hurts. They really consider him to be an unknown or an incomplete, right? They don't really know how to really judge him. They don't really know what his ceiling is. We saw what the floor was. His floor is bridge quarterback, in my opinion. His floor is Tyrod Taylor, if you ask me. But the ceiling, how good can he be? Is his ceiling Russell Wilson-esque or Kyler Murray-esque or Lamar Jackson-esque, right? Or Donovan McNabb-esque or Steve McNair? What's his ceiling? So that's the biggest question when you think about Jalen Hurts, because he showed that he can put up offense. He showed that he can move the chains to a degree. But whenever he was in third and long situations, the team really became limited because we relied so heavily on the run game. And the run game can only get you but so far. When you have a dominant run game, yes, it can really change the outlook of a season. It can really change the outlook of your team. Other teams have to respect it. But when you can't move the ball through the air efficiently, that's where your weaknesses get exposed. You can't get out of third and long situations. Those situations are going to come. I'm looking forward to seeing Jalen Hurts improve in these areas. Accuracy, anticipation, ball placement, poise in the pocket, and situational football. So situationally, I want to see how Jalen Hurts responds in third and long situations, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14. That's what I need. That's what I want to see. I want to see the progression on those downs, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14. Hey, he may be at a 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20. Can you somehow make magic happen out of a 3rd and 20? Now, 3rd and 20, not many people can fix that. It's not easy to balance back from a 3rd and 20 at all. Sometimes it takes a blown coverage on the defense side of the ball. Sometimes it takes spectacular play from the quarterback and his star receiver. So we got weapons to bounce back out of situations like that. AJ Brown, is a guy who's averaged 20 yards per catch in the season. Totally not impossible for a guy like A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith, he can get those 15 to 20-yard catches for you. So we got guys that can break the backs of a defense on a 3rd and long. But can Jalen Hurts get the ball from point A to point B? And that's what it's always going to come back to, because Howie Roseman has taken the ball out of his own court. Jalen Hurts has to take advantage of every opportunity that he's being given. And if he doesn't, best believe his bags will be packed and they will be putting a postage stamp and dropping them off in the mail. They're sending them first-class mail to anywhere else. And they already brought in a kid like Carson Strong to be a backup and to develop. And, apparently this kid Carson Strong has a really, really, really strong arm. And if Carson Strong shows better, takes better strides in preseason and so on and so forth, that's going to also make us look at Jalen Hurts a certain way. But I believe Jalen Hurts will be given the keys to his offense entirely this season, unless he's just completely terrible, which I don't expect him to be at all. That's just not really in his DNA to be absolutely horrendous. He's had horrendous games, yes, but for a consistent basis, he's not a horrendous quarterback. You can win with him. He can get you through a season. So right now, he's shown to be a top tier backup, and fringe starter, bridge quarterback at worst. He has to show that he can be a long-term answer. That's the biggest question. And a lot of people may take that as hating. No one's hating on the young man. I want the young man to win. I want Jalen Hurts to go to get after everything he's owed. But the only way that's possible is if Jalen Hurts takes the necessary strides. But let me ask you guys this. Jalen Hurts, has he earned the respect of the organization? Because the organization, yes, they got him the weapons, but you can make an argument they're still not sold on him. They're doing everything they need to do in terms of the media. They're saying everything they need to say. They're saying everything they're supposed to say. But overall, do you really believe that they believe in him? Now, think about it from this perspective. Let me pick your brain a little bit. Howie Roseman drafted this young man in the 2nd round. He traded Carson Wentz because he had some level of belief that Jalen Hurts can get them through a season until they get to their quarterback, or he has some faith that Jalen Hurts can be a quarterback in his NFL. Right? You drafted him 2nd round, got a lot of stock into him, and I don't believe that when he drafted him, he anticipated on him being the starter, but he is your starter now. And would it not make Howie Roseman, or wouldn't it make Howie Roseman look really good to draft your franchise quarterback in the 2nd round? Wouldn't that really show how great of a drafter Howie Roseman is? How much he has foresight? Howie Roseman is really big on saving face. His ego matters to him. His pride matters to him. So if he can find a way, like, he wants Jalen Hurts to succeed. That's the funny thing. Maybe they don't believe wholeheartedly in him, but they want Jalen Hurts to succeed. So don't doubt that for a second. They want him to actually be the answer because they don't want to waste any more draft capital on a quarterback. You think they want to draft the quarterback? They don't want to do that. They want quarterback to be the last thing they're worried about. So if they can get Jalen Hurts going, if Jalen Hurts can actually develop, show that he can run this offense, Howie Roseman's looking like a genius, right? What do you think? Is Howie Roseman looking like a genius if he gets this right? I want to give a shout out to my man Rock the Artist, Philly the Podcast, Ryan Rowe. Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure you guys hit that like button as always. Chalk It Up Sports Daily is coming at you Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If things get a little hairy for me, you might get it at 1:30. You might get it at 2 o'clock. But 9 times out of 10, you're getting your Chalk It Up Sports Daily Monday through Friday. So always be on the lookout for that. And make sure you guys hit that like button and share and subscribe. But, I'm really excited for this season. The schedule is coming out tonight. Really can't wait to see how this thing pans out. Like I said, on the schedule we have, outside of our division opponents, we have the Minnesota Vikings. On Monday Night Football, we got the Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Green Bay Packers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, Arizona Cardinals, Pittsburgh Steelers, in New Orleans Saints. So, yeah, man. Be on the lookout, you guys. Be on the lookout. But tonight is a big night. Not only is the schedule being released, but also the Philadelphia 76ers are in a do or die situation. They have no choice but to win. They have to win tonight. The Philadelphia 76ers season is on the line tonight. Now, I know a lot has been said about Joel Embiid. I had a lot to say about Joel Embiid yesterday. I had a feeling that he was distracted. He didn't seem locked into me. He seemed disengaged. If I'm being honest, it felt like he was a little preoccupied with not winning the MVP. It's an assertion. I'll wear that. It's an assertion, and there's no way for me to really know that for a fact. But you can't deny that he looked distracted. Was it the injuries, the pain he's going through with the orbital? It's a strong possibility of that too. He could have been in a. He did get hit in the face, and I'm pretty sure he's experiencing a lot of pain from that injury. The hand, the concussion, the fractured orbital, the slightly torn meniscus from earlier in the season. Back, Joel Embiid is dealing with a lot right now. He's dealing with a lot, and we're kind of expecting him to just act like everything is okay. And I get it. Everything's not going to be okay. But when you're on that court, the expectation is still the same. We can't really give you a pass if you're on the court. You say you can play ball, all right, let's play ball. But I do want to be realistic and acknowledge that he is experiencing a lot of pain. I can't imagine fracturing your orbital. I can't imagine, because I'm pretty sure it hurts to the touch. I can't imagine having a broken face. You dig what I'm saying? So that in and of itself, got to get that man a lot of credit for, fighting through. And tonight's a big night. Philadelphia is going to be in full effect. Everyone's going to be here, and this cannot be how the Sixers season ends. They got to leave it all out there. They got to force a Game 7. And even if they do force the Game 7, I'm not that confident going into Miami. We can't seem to win there. We can't win in Miami for some reason. I don't know if it's something in the water. I don't know if these guys is doing a little extra at night, before they go to sleep. I don't know what's going on, but the Sixers struggle to win in Miami. But can they get it done? Sure. Will they? I don't know. Will they force the Game 7? Sure. Can they do it? I don't know. We have to ask ourselves, what Sixers team are we going to get tonight? Which Sixers team is going to show up? Is it going to be the dominant Sixers we saw in the first 3 games of the playoffs? Is it going to be the Sixers we saw in games 3 and 4 of this series? Which Sixers team will we get? Which James Harden will we get? That's another $1 million question. Are we going to get James Harden that's able to give you 25, 28 points, 10, 12 assists? You know what I'm saying? Which James Harden are you going to get? They gotta let us know. They gotta let us know which James Harden are we going to get. Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, big games for you guys too. But do we believe that Tobias Harris should even be here beyond this year? There's a lot of questions around this Philadelphia Sixers team, man. If this season, if they don't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, this team needs to get overhauled, in my opinion. The only players that are untouchable are Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. James Harden, I don't know if he deserves the max. He hasn't shown himself to be a max player. And I would kind of feel disrespected if he tries to demand the max, knowing what we know about them, knowing what we've seen from him, as a matter of fact. He doesn't have leverage to demand the max. Will he try? Sure. Should he get it? No. He's not a max player anymore. He's gotten like 2 max contracts already. Like, he's good. Money ain't the issue. So I don't want money to be the issue this season. If you want to win, stay here. Get a full offseason with this team. Get the full offseason rest. Deal with any lingering injuries you may have. But Is James Harden the max player? I don't think so. Not anymore. And then Tobias Harris, that's a really bad contract. That really handicaps his team, makes it hard to really get depth. I wouldn't be surprised if Daryl Morey finds a way to move on from Tobias Harris this offseason. I really wouldn't be surprised. Just because Tobias Harris, even though he has been a steady presence throughout the playoffs, he has, for lack of better terms, he has delivered in his role. But it just seems like he doesn't move the needle for us anymore. I just don't believe Tobias Harris works with this team anymore. I like Tobias Harris. Don't get it twisted. I like Tobias Harris, but his contract is handicapping his team. You know, they got to move on from that contract. And they still got Maxey on the rookie deal. The biggest contracts on the team should only be Joel Embiid and James Harden. And then after that, you gotta fill them with a bunch of shooters and role players and tough guys. You know, the Philadelphia 76ers are they lack a certain swag, a certain juice. They lack guys that give 150% every play, every game. They need guys like that. They need themselves a PJ Tucker, or they need themselves, you know, a Patrick Beverly. You know, guys that play hard all the time. And that's the only way they're going to win this game tonight. And it's kind of annoying because the game is taking place at the same time the Eagles' schedule is being released. So I'm really curious to see how this stuff pans out overall. But, excuse me, this is the big game for James Harden. Can James Harden come up big? Can Joel Embiid come up big? And remember what I told you guys yesterday. This team goes as Joel Embiid goes. If Joel Embiid does not come through with the energy, this team is going to lose the game. Rock the Artist says, wish we could have kept Jimmy Butler. I actually agree with you. When we lost Jimmy Butler that offseason, I was really pissed about that. Because I would have found a way to keep Jimmy Butler. I would have traded Ben Simmons, kept Jimmy Butler, and I would have rocked out. I would have rocked out with I would have traded Ben Simmons. I would have rocked out with Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, and Tobias Harris. I would have rocked out with those guys. You still had JJ Redick. That team would have been better, more well-rounded. We see that the Sixers wasted so much time trying to cater to Ben Simmons' needs that we missed out on really big opportunities to really move forward in the playoffs. And now our team is handicapped with Joel Embiid's injuries. We're handicapped with our limited bench, and that's why we're not able to compete really with the Miami Heat. That's why it seems like they're able to throw so many bodies at us, because they have depth, they have shooters, and that's the problem. They got wing shooters, wing defenders. They got the guys that play with a lot of energy, a lot of swag. We ain't got that. That's the reality. We ain't got enough swag on this team. I don't know. Maybe y'all feel different, but I need 30. I ain't gonna lie. I need a 40 ball from Joel Embiid. We may not get it though, but Joel Embiid, I need at least 30 points. James Harden, I need at least 25 points. Maxey, I need at least 20. Tobias, I need at least 18. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Green, I need at least 10, 12. Shake Milton, can you give me 5 or 6? Wills Duncan, Tone, Vosh Lombardi stated that AJ Brown is a receiver without elite traits. Yeah, I saw that. And when he said he's a receiver without elite traits, it's strange how we have like revisionist history. Like, how I'm trying to understand what elite traits does he not have? Because if you ask me, when I think about elite traits, what do you want him to be, like 6'7", like a Drake London size? Like, my thing is, when you think about elite traits, AJ Brown has the perfect blend of height and size. You can look up AJ Brown's highlights today, and you can see the elite traits jumping off the screen. He's a great route runner. He gets separation, great hands, very physical, hard to bring down. He has elite traits, a large catch radius. I don't understand what people mean when he says he doesn't have elite traits. On top of that, he can actually beat you deep. He has great speed for his size. He's faster than what he looks. I don't understand when people say he doesn't have elite traits. Is it because he's a Philadelphia Eagle? You see, every time someone puts on an Eagles jersey, all of a sudden people forget how good someone is. You know what I mean? But he's a Cowboys fan. That's what I expect him to say. That's what I expect him to say. If you ask me, CeeDee Lamb, like, does he have elite traits? You know what I'm saying? I don't. If we're talking like that, does CeeDee Lamb have elite traits? I don't know. Like, come on, man. Like, CeeDee Lamb, he hasn't even put himself in elite status yet. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. You can't sit here with a straight face and tell me AJ Brown ain't got elite traits, but CeeDee Lamb does. Stop it. You just can't. Wills Duncan says physical receiver, beats single coverage consistently. He has everything to be elite. Exactly. You know, he had a ticky tack injury last year where I think he missed he only played like 13, 14 games last year. He dealt with an injury, but for the most part in his career, he's healthy. You know, he was healthy I think he was healthy his first year, missed like one game his second year, and missed like 3 or 4 games the third year. But you can't tell me this man ain't legit. You just can't. Anybody that thinks otherwise, you bugging. Yeah, Tony, it's like now that AJ Brown on the Eagles, we have to reevaluate. Exactly. Nobody was saying nothing. Listen, everybody was on AJ Brown, you know what, when he was in the Titans, bro. Every time somebody put an Eagles jersey on, all of a sudden, we got to question his skill set. We got to question if he's elite. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all was not saying this before. Just stop. Like, come on, man. Now, is AJ Brown top 5? No. I don't think he's top 5. Is he top 10? Arguably so. Is CeeDee Lamb top 10? No. I'll put AJ Brown ahead of CeeDee Lamb just because of his physical traits. You dig what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb maybe a better route runner. Maybe. But he don't do nothing better than AJ Brown if you ask me. Maybe. Like it's so strange how people do this, but it's all good though. I like this kind of smoke. I like that kind of energy because people pick and choose. People are very selective with their memory. And I can live with that. Best believe I can live with that. Guys pick and choose when they want to respect the guy, Stilo. Like that combination with AJ Brown, Devonta Smith about to be deadly. Let's remember, Michael Gallup is coming off of an ACL injury. Will he be the same? We don't know. We do not know how Michael Gallup is going to respond to that ACL recovery. We just don't know. Michael Gallup is a very, very good wide receiver, though. Very good wide receiver. Like, Michael Gallup has been very productive in the NFL, if you ask me. Michael Gallup has 1,000-yard season. But last season, through 9 games played, only 445 yards. In 2020, he had 843 yards. But remember, he was the number 3, so that's pretty good numbers for a number 3. His second season had over 1,100 yards. His rookie season had 570 yards. So Michael Gallup is productive. He's very productive for sure. Michael Gallup can be a number 2 on any team, really. He already shown he could be a dynamite number 3. But Michael Gallup, like, is he head and shoulders above Devonta Smith? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Michael Gallup, his rookie year, 507 yards. Devonta Smith, rookie year, 915 yards. Come on, man. Night and day. Night and day. Let's see what Devonta doing his second year. You know what I mean? My top 5 wide receivers in the NFC East? Very good question. Now, this is in no particular order because I haven't thought about the order. But here are the top guys to me in the NFC East from a wide receiver perspective. You got AJ Brown. You got Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Devonta Smith. Those are the top 5 wide receivers in the NFC East. AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Michael Gallup, and Devonta Smith. Yep. Those are the top 5 wide receivers in the NFC East, and that's not bad company. That's not bad company at all. So I expect Devonta Smith to take his game to another level. As a matter of fact, I don't see why AJ Brown and Devonta Smith can't hit over 1,000 yards this year. I really don't see why. If AJ Brown go for 1,000, Devonta Smith go for 1K, that's 2,000 yards right there for Jalen Hurts. If Dallas Goedert gives you 900 receiving yards, that's 2,900. If Quez Watkins can give you 800, 700, that's about 3,600 to 30. That's about 3,600 to 3,700 passing yards for Jalen Hurts, and that's not including passing yards to the running backs and to the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So if we can get 1K from AJ Brown, 1K from Devonta Smith, 900 from Dallas Goedert, and about 700 to 800 from Quez Watkins, and then you got everybody else. I don't see why Jalen Hurts can't crack 4,000 passing yards. I don't see why. He has the talent to do so. Now it's all about him delivering the rock when he needs to. Did you see that Eagles tried to trade for Chuck Clark? Well, trade Chuck Clark for Jalen Reagor. Eagles, the Ravens rejected the offer. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the word is Chuck Clark's not going anywhere, but we'll see what happens. But I don't see anybody who will accept their offer for Jalen Reagor. Dirty South 273. He says, you think it's more likely for Hurts to throw for 4,000 yards or run for 1,000 or both? That's a very good question, Dirty South. I personally think it's more like entering this season, it's more likely he passes for 4,000 yards. Is more likely for that because he has the offensive weaponry now. And as dynamic as Jalen Hurts is in the running game, he doesn't want to rush for 1,000 yards. I mean, he rushed for about 700 for sure, but I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to pass more this season. I think Nick Sirianni is going to open the playbook up way more, and you're going to see this. You're going to see Nick Sirianni try to completely take Jalen Hurts off the hinges. He doesn't want the leash is being cut. The umbilical cord is being cut. No more training wheels on his offense. I'm telling you, watch. Nick Sirianni is going to throw the playbook at Jalen Hurts, and when that happens, we're going to see if Jalen Hurts is the guy or not. We're going to find out very quickly. South Texas going on. He says, "What up? There's no way he would throw for 4,000. I don't see why he can't though. It's 17 games in the season. Think about it. See, a lot of people hear 4,000 yards and they think it's such an astronomical number, but when you break it down game to game, it's really not. It's really not astronomical. South Texas. I'm gonna tell you why. 4,000 yards divided by a 17-game season. That's 235 passing yards. You mean to tell me if Jalen Hurts can't throw for 235 passing yards per game, we have a problem at quarterback? And I'm saying that candidly. South Texas. You know what I'm saying? That's the fact. And South Texas, come on, you can't be that facetious. The fact that you're dropping laughing emojis means you don't believe what you're saying. He'll probably be benched by week 7. Like, come on now. That's his asinine. Willis Duncan says we can still run the same about with the RB with the running backs, take out every snap with the quarterback run and make it passing stats. Right. Dirty South says 4,000 yards is about 240 per game. Yeah, it's 235 to be exact. South Tech says he doesn't have the arm to do it. See, that's an overrated point because arm strength isn't the issue. It's all about accuracy and timing with him, if we're being completely honest. So he does have the arm to do it. He has the weaponry to do it as well. Has the head coach that wants to take the door off the hinges. Now Jalen Hurts has to just he has to do what he has to do. That's the bottom line. The pressure's on him. At the end of the day, right? No one here is saying he's franchise quarterback status. What we're saying is he has a fair shot. And if he can even throw for 3,800, 4,000 yards and 25 plus touchdowns. See, it's all about how he's getting these stats, right? We need to see the improvement in his game. And if I'm being honest, I know a lot of us talk about how I know a lot of us sit here and we talk about, hey, we need him to win a playoff game. That's what we need him to do. Right. We would love to see him win a playoff game and go to the next round of the playoffs. But we need to also consider we need to see him take strides in the game. We need to see him take strides in his development. If we can see the franchise quarterback talent, if we can see him having these spectacular games, oh yeah, Jalen Hurts is in business. Even if he doesn't win the playoff game, if he can win the division and find a way to show the drastic improvement, like accuracy and anticipation, if he can show the maturity in those areas, Jalen Hurts, I think he can earn the second contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that. Hurts naturally wants to run first. He doesn't stay in the pocket. He panics. I'm just talking truth. Sounds like you're really just I kind of disagree and agree with that, because he wants to throw that ball, but he's too hesitant. That's the issue. I don't know if it's panicky. I feel like he's hesitant, and he needs to trust the guys around him. And let's be totally honest. Outside of Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert, who was he throwing that ball to that he fully trusted? I know Quez Watkins had his moments, but he ain't trust nobody on that offense. And I think he needs more time to work with those guys. But overall, though, the pressure's on Jalen Hurts. That's the bottom line. And if he's the guy, it's a blessing. If he's not the guy, sayonara. And that's the reality. And this, like, to say he naturally wants to run first, I don't know. I think I call that using what you have at your disposal, and also just playing your game. But I think he's going to have much more pocket discipline this year. It's easy to talk about what we've seen in his first year and, a first-year starter. Like, it's so funny how people have these expectations on a second-round quarterback who essentially started for the first time last year, a full season last year, and hasn't and still didn't have too many guys to throw the ball to. And now, this year, it changes. He has A.J. Brown. He has Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. So, would I compare him to Lamar Jackson? No, not at all. I feel like Lamar Jackson wants to run more than Jalen Hurts. If you ask me, like, Jalen Hurts wants, like Lamar Jackson wants to run more than Jalen Hurts. That's why I don't compare Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts at all. I don't compare them at all. They're not the same quarterback in any breath to me. They're just not. Duncan says Hurts could succeed and some people still would hate him. Same thing won't change. If Hurts was a first-round quarterback, everyone would have the most patience in the world. But because he's a second-round quarterback, no one has any patience for his development. People are judging him. You see how people don't want to judge Trevor Lawrence, right? They don't want to give Zach Wilson too much hell. They don't want to give Mac Jones too much hell. But as far as I'm concerned, Mac Jones' first year starting, he made it to the playoffs. Jalen Hurts' first year starting, he made it to the playoffs. They both got knocked out in the first round. What are we saying? Jalen Hurts been to the playoffs before Tua. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people want to fast track Jalen Hurts' development, and he has to. He has no choice. That's just the NFL we're in, unfortunately. That's the NFL we're in. Guys are being asked to fast track their development. And then when you're a second round quarterback, that makes it even harder for you, because guys are just waiting for you to fail. South Tech says, who would you say is the better thrower of the ball, Hurts or Lamar? Lamar right now, for sure. Lamar Jackson is the better thrower of the football right now. I'm not going to sit here and lie and just be a homer. No, Lamar Jackson throws the ball better than Jalen Hurts right now. Does Jalen Hurts have potential to improve? Hell yeah. He has potential to definitely improve. Lamar Jackson is such an electric runner, it takes his game to another level. He's so electric. He's so elusive. And he has a cannon for an arm. A cannon. Lamar Jackson has he's become better as a thrower, and he needs to continue to become better as a thrower, with accuracy and placement and anticipation. Lamar Jackson can stand to improve as well as a thrower. But I think Lamar Jackson is a better thrower than Jalen Hurts. I don't think anybody will argue that right now. I just don't think that's even a conversation, really. But we have to acknowledge they both have their limitations in the air. That's something we have to acknowledge. They both have limitations throwing that ball. We've seen Lamar Jackson carried that Ravens team. They didn't make the playoffs, but he carried them, and he got hurt. And it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing pans out. All right, so South Texas has another question. Give me a second. Now, his question is, who had the better? He said, who had the better receiving core this past year, the Ravens or the Eagles? All right, let's find out. Let's look at their depth chart. Let's find out. Okay, so Baltimore Ravens depth chart. Let's see. All right. So last year, or this past season rather, the Philadelphia Eagles at wide receiver, they had Devonta Smith, Quez Watkins, Jalen Reagor, Greg Ward, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and Dallas Goedert. Okay? That's what the Eagles had. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, they had, Marquis Brown, Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay at wide receiver, and Mark Andrews at tight end. You can make an argument the Baltimore Ravens had a better receiving core last year. You can make an argument. So honestly, I believe last season, the Baltimore Ravens had a better receiving core than the Eagles. No. South Texas, you're absolutely wrong. You cannot say the Eagles had a better wide receiver core than the Ravens last year. No. You cannot say that by any stretch of the imagination. The Baltimore Ravens had a better wide receiver core last year. Okay, all right, let's play this game. South Tex, you say D. Smith is better than Hollywood Brown. Okay, I'll bite. Okay, I'll bite on that. Let's take it down another level. Sammy Watkins. Is Sammy Watkins better than Jalen Reagor? Let me ask you, is Sammy Watkins better than Jalen Reagor? No. Don't change it. Don't change it, South Tex. The receiving core is the receiving core. Don't talk about injuries. The receiving core is what it is. Duncan says, Hurts 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Lamar 16 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Huh. Interesting. That's very interesting. But Lamar was hurt. But regardless, South Tex, the receiver core is the receiver core. All right. You know what? I'll play ball with you, right? I'll play ball with you. Forget Sammy Watkins. Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman is better than Jalen Reagor. Rashad Bateman is better than Quez Watkins. To sit here and say Jalen Reagor is better than Sammy Watkins, you're smoking crack. I don't care if Sammy Watkins got one leg. Sammy Watkins is better than Reagor. Sammy Watkins has done more in one season than Reagor's done in his whole career. Come on, man. South Tex, you're being facetious. I appreciate the dialogue, though. I'm having fun with this. But to sit here and say Sammy Watkins is washed, okay, maybe so. But to say Jalen Reagor is better than Sammy Watkins, bro, I've watched every game with Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor's not even sniffing Sammy Watkins' jockstrap. I'm sorry. Like, I'd rather take a 80%, 75% Sammy Watkins than 100% Jalen Reagor. And then the tight end position, Mark Andrews, some people say is better than Dallas Goedert. Mark Andrews is a top 5 tight end in the NFL. Some people say Mark Andrews is better than Dallas Goedert. It was real. It says Quez has the ability to be better than Bateman, but since Hollywood's gone, he is the number one. That's a fact. That's a fact. But South Texas says the Baltimore Ravens. He asked me who had a better receiving core, Baltimore Ravens or the Philadelphia Eagles last year. The Ravens had a better one outside of Devonta Smith. If you want to rank them, like let's do this. Let's rank them. Devonta, if you believe South Texas Devonta Smith is better than Hollywood Brown, I'll bite on that, right? So Devonta Smith, Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman, Sammy Watkins, Quez Watkins, Jalen Reagor. Come on. Let's keep it trill. Let's keep it trill. I believe Quez Watkins has potential to be really, really good in this NFL. Quez Watkins has potential. Quez Watkins has the potential to be a legit number 2, top tier, number 3 option in this NFL. He can be productive. It's all about Jalen Hurts delivering that ball. Eagles Real says, I think Goddard is right there with Andrews. Both have tough catches and they have easy drops. I understand that, but I think Mark Andrews, if I'm not mistaken, has a 1,000-yard season, right? If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. Mark Andrews. Yep. This past season was his best season. He had over 1,300 receiving yards. Mark Andrews is that dude. He's been in the league for 4 seasons, and he has over 3,400 receiving yards total. Mark Andrews is that guy, averaging 13 yards of reception, 29 touchdowns. Mark Andrews is legit. He's very legit. South Texas got it as a top end tight end though. I'm not saying he's not. I didn't say he wasn't. What I'm saying is the Baltimore Ravens had a better core than the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact right now. That's a fact. Marquis Brown entering his 4th season in the NFL, but his 3 seasons. This past season, he had over 1,000 yards. 2020, he had 769. His rookie year, he had 584. He gets touchdowns. He gets yards, averaging 12 yards of reception. He gets yards. He had 91 receptions and 146 targets this past season. He gets targets for sure. He gets receptions. Hollywood Brown is good. He's just small, really, really small. But Quez, South Texas, Quez isn't impressive in my opinion. Bateman is that great. South Texas, you're making my point, bro. You're making my point. You're making my point. You're making my point. Mark Andrews has had 1,300 yards. He's better than Dallas Goedert right now. Until Dallas Goedert can get those kind of numbers, he's better than him. Eagles Realist says, "Do you think Goddard is top 5?" Yeah, I do. I think he's number 5 in that top 5. Chris R says, "I hate to say it, but Mark Andrews is better. By the way, we traded up to get Goddard, and Andrews got drafted later in the same draft." Ooh, Chris R, I did not know that. That is wow, Chris R. I didn't know that. That is a hell of a point. That is a hell of a point. South Texas, but for Hurts to underperform and couldn't deliver last year, to me, it doesn't matter what weapons you have around him. Hurts can't perform. That's not that you're continuing to alter the argument. And if you're being completely honest, Hurts was very raw as a passer last year. That's a fact. And he needs to improve. I'm not denying he doesn't need to improve, because he does. But to say he underperformed, I don't think so. Because as a matter of fact, I'll put it to you like this, South Tex. This debunks your point right away. Everyone across the NFL predicted the Eagles to win 4 games. Everybody. Let's talk about it. Let's keep the receipts, y'all. Let's keep it in perspective. All across the board, you had mainstream media saying the Philadelphia Eagles. You see how. Let's think. South Texas, I'm going to give a second-year player an excuse. Yes. I'm going to give a second-year quarterback an excuse. The same way how they gave what's my man name? Josh Allen an excuse. The same reason how they give Trevor Lawrence excuses. The same reason how they give Zach Wilson excuses. The same reason why they gave who else they gave excuses early on in their career. Justin Herbert. Like they give all these young, like when you're, first of all, if we're being completely honest, Jalen Hurts is not really given the same luxury as the guys I mentioned because he's a second round pick. But to say that he underperformed is actually not true. Him and the team actually overachieved. Everyone predicted this team. They give two excuses. See, when you're a first round pick, they give you all the excuses in the world to really improve and be great and say all the things that aren't going wrong. Best and believe that Miami team has put pressure on Tua this year. They gave him Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They gave him Cedric Wilson. And he still got Mike Gesicki. They're telling him right now, if you can't get it done with these guys, you're not the guy. So they're doing the same thing for Jalen Hurts. Hey, listen, we got you A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Quez Watkins, Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Zach Pascal. Like, if you can't get it done with this with these core guys, you're not the guy. They give Trey Lance excuses. You get what I'm saying? So, like, to say a quarterback is made by his weapons, and the weapons are made by the quarterback. There's only one quarterback or maybe two quarterbacks in the NFL that are able to elevate guys, and that's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Other than that, there's no quarterback that you can really think of that have made other guys better. Like, not many quarterbacks in this league can make everyone better like that. It's not easy to do. Tom Brady is an anomaly. He made guys like Chris Hogan. He made guys like Edelman and Amendola and Wes Welker. He made those guys. You get what I'm saying? So, in my humble opinion, Jalen Hurts overachieved in his second season. The team made the playoffs. I don't know what else to say. He made the playoffs with the weakest wide receiver core in the NFC in the NFC East. Because you can make an argument that the Giants had a better receiving core with Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney as a collective. You can make an argument. Evan Ingram, you can make an argument. But, like, come on, let's keep it real. The league said what? The Eagles are a 4-win team. They said that. Like, come on. South Tech says the team got better because of the running attack, not because of him at quarterback. But he is a part of the running attack. Now, me, when it comes to really judging him in the long term, I'm judging him as a passer. But to say that he had nothing to do with the Philadelphia Eagles improving as the season went along is completely ignorant. He is the reason why the running game was so deadly, because teams had to account for his speed, had to account for what he did with the ball in his hands. Now, as a matter of fact, Jalen Hurts actually improved as the season went along as a thrower, because he was dealing with the ankle injury, so he had to lean on his throwing. If you watch that Washington football game, he threw some amazing passes, back shoulder pass, back shoulder throw to Greg Ward in the end zone. Big throw on 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15 to Greg Ward in the red zone. It's interesting to me. Duncan says, Tone, why are you still talking to this guy? He changed the narrative every time you prove him wrong. I know, but it's fun. It's fun. It's called content. I got you, Duncan. I feel you, Duncan. But it's fun, though. It's fun. Dirty South says, you saw how Josh Allen looked before Diggs got there? Exactly. So it's like, it's funny how guys like, look, the bottom line is this, right? So the NFL we're in, they don't give guys like Jalen Hurts a long leash. If you're not a first-round draft pick, they don't feel the need to give you a long leash. They just don't. Like, and Jalen Hurts has everything to prove this year. He has no excuses going into the season. He has the best offensive line in the NFC. He has the best wide receiver core in the division. He has arguably the best tight end in the division. He arguably has one of the best running backs in the division. And now he arguably has the best defensive line in the division. There's no more excuses. There's no more excuses for Jalen Hurts. South Tech says, what about a fourth rounder like Dak? What about him? What's your point now, Soft Text? I keep proving you wrong. It's too easy. Make it hard. Make it hard. Challenge me a little bit. You throwing softballs. Chris R says Hurts is going to look like 2010 Vic this year. They hating because they're scared. They hating because they're scared. Now they want to hate on all the guys they wanted all along. That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody want to talk trash about AJ Brown. Now that he an Eagle, it's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all see it, right? Y'all see y'all see what people do, and it's cute though. I like it. It's really cute if you ask me. Make sure you guys smash that like button. We got 11 people in the live stream. I appreciate y'all. Continue to hit that like button. That's actually Chris R's point, not my point. Although Vic did have a pretty good 2010 campaign, to say the least. But yeah, man, it's going to be really exciting to see how things pan out. I'm curious to see how Dak Prescott looks without Amari Cooper. That's what I'm curious about. How is Dak Prescott going to look without Amari Cooper? Because without Amari, he's a fool's gold, if you ask me. I like Dak Prescott. It's a shame because he's a Cowboy. But I like that. I like Dak Prescott as a man. As a Cowboy, nah. As a player, I like him, though. I think Dak Prescott sometimes gets unfairly criticized. But for the most part, Dak Prescott, he's not elite by any stretch of the imagination. Dak Prescott is above average. He's above average. Is he a top 10 quarterback in the conference? Definitely. Is he top 5 in the conference? Definitely. Is he top 10 in the NFL? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe not. South Texas, Dak got CD. Okay, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what CD can do being the guy, though. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if CD can pan out to be the number one. Because remember, it's easy to get your numbers when you got a guy like Amari Cooper next to you. It's easy. But when you don't got a guy like Amari Cooper next to you, what you gonna do being double teamed every damn rep? What you gonna do? We're gonna find out just how good CeeDee Lamb really is. We're gonna find out. Dirty South says, who you got as our defensive MVP this year? Ooh, I'm going Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick. He's going to be the defensive MVP this year. Go on, my man, Hassan Reddick. So we're gonna see how we're gonna see how Dak look. We're gonna see how this stuff pan out, man. I'm super excited at the end of the day, man. I'm super excited. It's gonna be a hell of a season, man. I really appreciate you guys for liking on the content and contributing in the live chat. It really makes everything really that much more exciting. And, the bottom line is, you guys, it's football. And none of us should really take it that serious. It's sports, and it's all sports talk, and it's all love at the end of the day, you guys. Regardless of how it goes down, make sure you guys wow. Yo, man, Cowboys fans are some of the most delusional fans on the planet. And I'll leave it at that, you guys. Man, I appreciate all the love and support. You guys have been absolutely tremendous and amazing. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the content. Make sure you guys share. I'm always grateful for the love and support, as you already know. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got charges to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.